My girlfriend told me she was pregnant to trap me, so I demanded a paternity test and discovered she was running the same scam on 3 other guys. I was a junior with a full academic scholarship. Losing it meant dropping out, and I'd worked too hard to let anything ruin that. So when my girlfriend texted me, "We need to talk. I'm pregnant," I felt sick. We'd always been careful. Every single time. She showed up at my apartment 2 hours later holding a positive pregnancy test, crying and shaking. Then she said she needed $15,000 right away for doctor visits and prenatal care because her insurance didn't work anymore. I told her we'd figure it out together and asked when her first appointment was. That's when she got weird. She said I couldn't come because doctor visits made her too anxious. She started guarded those appointments like a magician protects their tricks. Every time I offered to drive her or even wait in the car, she'd snap at me. She said stress was bad for the baby and I needed to back off. A week later, she sent me an ultrasound photo. I stared at it forever because there was no name on it, no date, nothing. The thing looked less like medical documentation and more like a stock photo for Hope or something. When I asked about it, she said the clinic doesn't print that stuff for privacy reasons. Then she got so mad I just dropped it. Over the next 3 weeks, she kept asking for more money. $1,200 for vitamins, $800 for maternity clothes even though she wasn't showing, $2,000 for a bigger apartment. She honestly had the energy of someone who'd never met a problem she couldn't borrow money for. When I said I couldn't afford the apartment, she changed completely. She said if I didn't help her, she'd call my parents. Then she said maybe the scholarship committee should know I got someone pregnant and wasn't taking responsibility. That's when I realized this wasn't about a baby anymore. This was a threat. The next day, she posted about it on Instagram without asking me. She tagged me in that post like she was tagging evidence. My phone blew up with messages, friends congratulating me, my aunt texting questions. I hadn't even told my parents yet, and now everyone knew. I couldn't sleep that night. I started searching online for fake pregnancy scams, and what I found made me want to cry. Story after story about women using fake tests and stolen ultrasound photos to get money from guys. She was following the script so closely I could have probably Googled her next move. The next morning, I told her I needed to come to her next appointment. She completely lost it, of course, and started screaming that I didn't trust her, and if I kept pushing, she'd handle this without me. The reaction told me everything. A few days later, she sent another ultrasound photo. This one was supposedly at 10 weeks. I took a screenshot and did a reverse image search. The exact same photo popped up on a pregnancy forum from 2 years ago. A different woman in a different state had posted it. My hands were shaking. She'd stolen someone else's ultrasound and sent it to me like it was real. I called a lawyer an hour later and I explained everything. The fake photos, the money demands, and her behavior. He listened for about 30 seconds and said, "She's not having a baby. She's having a fundraiser." I heard him spark a cigarette out of boredom. I guess he had heard this before because the next day he already sent her a letter asking for proof and offering to set up a paternity test. She freaked out big time, started texting me that my lawyer was harassing her. Then she went completely silent for 3 days. When the lawyer called the clinic she'd mentioned, they said no one with her name had ever been a patient there. There was no pregnancy. There never had been. But then the lawyer found something worse. Her real name wasn't even what she told me, and she wasn't actually a student at our school. Turns out she'd been touring colleges like a one-woman TED Talk on fraud. She'd target guys with scholarships or money and run the same scam. Fake test, fake ultrasound, threats, then disappear with the cash before anyone could check if it was real. The lawyer found 3 other guys she'd done this to. One gave her $18,000, another gave her $22,000. The third one paid for an entire apartment she never moved into. Together she'd stolen over $60,000. We all filed a lawsuit together. The police got involved because she'd crossed state lines doing this. They arrested her at a coffee shop while she was meeting another guy. When they searched her place, they found boxes of fake pregnancy tests, stacks of printed ultrasounds, and a notebook with our names and how much we'd each given her. She got 4 years in prison. I got my money back plus extra for damages. The weirdest part is, I became roommates with one of the other guys she scammed. We bonded like war veterans and got to know so much about her scam operation. We're now toying with the idea of setting one up ourselves to pay for our tuition.